through working. But so far, so good this week.
You think a game like that could be kind of an eye-opener? You know, you're coming off a huge shutout win, and you go on the road, and all of a sudden you're in a huge hole. Do you think it woke up the guys maybe?
When I woke up, we got to see how some players would respond in that situation. And I like the way we responded. We played hard. We didn't turn on one another. We didn't get down. We got to play better. But that part of it was probably the most positive thing coming out of the game. We played 60 minutes.
Coach, what's the biggest improvement you're hoping to see in this game based from last week heading into conference play now?
Consistency, just overall consistency out of our coaches and our players. A little more focus. I think the fact that we viewed it as a big game, our players were kind of up and hyped, kind of got in the way of consistent play. And then the number one thing we got to learn is being fired up, being anxious to play is not always a good thing if you can't stay focused. So we got to focus and play the play call.
You talked after the game on Saturday about miscommunications in the secondary. What kind of things can be done to kind of correct some of those problems?
Repetition, going over it in film, communicating better, trying to correct those mistakes, make sure they don't happen again.
Were there particular breakdowns that you saw in the secondary, especially in some of those third down plays, the third and long, where they were able to convert? And what were those?
Well, that's just it. There was bust, and there was players that didn't play proper technique or didn't get in the proper position. Those coaching errors and coaching areas that we have to correct.
Is Brandon Thomas, is he...
I'm not going to talk about anybody's health ever again, as long as I'm here. I think the other teams know way too much about us, and we don't know a damn thing about them. Can you say damn on TV?
Mine, you can.
Okay. As long as it's not followed by a bunch of others, it's putting them down.
All right, Coach, being able to play at home again this weekend and not dealing with the tropical storm, you know, you look forward to getting the guys out there in front of what should be a big crowd?
I hope so. I haven't really kept up with the ticket sales that closely. I hear there were still some available, but we're expecting a big crowd. We were wanting that and welcoming that the first game. The weather just didn't allow it. For all practical purposes, we're kind of viewing this as our home opener, and we were looking forward to a big crowd, looking for a great game day.
Any kind of changes going into this weekend compared to the first 2 weeks that you're trying to tweak on some stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Coach.
Do you feel like other teams know more about you than they should? Did that have an effect on the game side of it?
I don't know if it had an effect on the game day Saturday. I think it's just after every week I'm going to try to look to see what areas we can improve, what we can do differently to help our team. And I thought we had a lot more going out than we had coming in. And it's something that is first and foremost when I make a decision. I always try to make a decision based on what I think is best for the football team.
Is that what led to the closing of practices?
Yeah, I think that the players and the coaches need to go out and coach and play and practice and work and not have to worry about getting critiqued during the week. We're going to get enough of that on Saturday, and we should. But during the week, we need to be focusing on correcting mistakes and improving and focusing on the opponent that we have. And so that's what we're going to try to do.
Coach, the Incarnate Word College has good running back and pretty good secondary. How do you think we're going to fare against that in good dry weather?
From a defensive standpoint, looking at them, they really changed from the first game to the second game. It looked like they made the commitment to run the football and keep their defense off the field, and they did just that. They ran for over 300 yards. Their running back had over 200 yards. They kept their defense off the field, shortened the game. They controlled the line of scrimmage and did a good job. When the defense was on the field and was fresh and healthy, they moved around and played a lot better than they did the first week. What they'll try to do this week, coaches change plans from week to week. But looking at them from an offensive standpoint, looking at their offense, if we got to control their running game and not give up the big plays. Offensively, we need to control the line of scrimmage, and we need to do to them what they do to their opponent last week. We need to control the game.
With that point on controlling the offensive line, do you feel that our team is starting to gel as a unit?
Well, we need to. We need to get better every week. These 3 games, we want to win all 3 of them. They're very important to us, but they're not as important as conference games. These 3 games are to get us ready for conference play. And we need to take another big step this week because this will be our last opportunity before we play in a tough Southern Conference. And so we need to improve as a team.
Will Andre be the starter?
Don't know. Come out Saturday and find out. That goes for all positions. And then after the game, y'all can ask me who did what, when, where, how. You late, take a laugh. Our first game ever here, and our players were caught up in that. Heck, I was caught up in it. And number two, they had a game to look at us. They had a little lot more information on us than McNeese did, so they were able to prepare for us. And I thought they played a heck of a game. I thought they prepared, and they came in and played us off our feet, and that's going to happen. That's going to happen a lot. Teams are going to come in here and play well against you. This crowd is great for us, but it also energizes the other teams as well.
Incarnate Word is also a newer program, and what exactly do you know about the Cardinals?
Mike Santiago and I go way back. I've known him a long time, and Coach Alchek runs their defense. I've known him a while, and I consider both of them friends and colleagues. They're both good football coaches. We're a little familiar with their style of play prior to getting those jobs, so that helps a little bit.
This is their first game playing Hawk.
They'll be fired up. They'll be pumped up about it, sure. I'm not that concerned with them as I am right in our ship and getting our guys ready to play, but I'm sure they'll be ready to play.
What do you do to reduce some of the penalty problems that they've had first 2 games, 24 penalties?
Focus on it, emphasize it, overemphasize it in practice, put in a reward punishment system when you do not do the right thing, or reinforce it when you do the right thing. And I think reps and playing and coaching and working will take care of a lot of that.
Some of them have been kind of procedural type things, I suppose, that with reps get eliminated.
But we're not going to play perfect. That's people out there want us to. I want us to. I'm not making excuses, but we got to get closer to perfect. But flags are going to be thrown on both teams every Saturday, and we got to overcome those things. And we want to eliminate them because obviously the penalties just take away from your total yardage and take away from your team. But at the same time, we got to overcome some things. You have to overcome turnovers. You have to overcome penalties. You try to eliminate them, but they're going to happen. And when they do, you got to overcome them.
How important is this last non-conference game, knowing that Southland is coming up real quick?
Well, I think it's just important that it's our third game, and we need to see improvement. We need to go into Southland conference play feeling good about ourselves and confident, not so much in the score, but our play. I don't know what the score is going to be this weekend. The score, the actual final score, is not that important to me. I want to see us play better.
Do you think we'll play better being at home?
I sure hope so.
Coach, this is going to be the first game. We're going to bring some recruits in to show them what Lamar football's all about.
Really?
What I heard that rumor.
Thought we had something at the first game. Go ahead.
Well, good. Well, don't you think this is a great opportunity to show them our facilities, and for any younger the guys that are playing high school football around here, they get an opportunity to see what the program's all about.
Well, every one of our home games that way because we got a lot to point to with pride around here. This is a very easy sell on Saturday when the stands are packed and everybody's energized, and something that we want to take advantage of in our recruiting.
How do you feel your team's run game and offensive is coming along?
It's come along. It's everything offensively takes time, takes reps, and what you want to see is us get better and better at what we're doing. We do have some new additions starting up front that didn't play last year, and it takes time for the unit to gel and play well together, but they need to start improving, and I think reps takes care of that. Right now, I think we have only one senior starting, so we're still kind of young up there. We're better than we were last year, more experienced than we were, but we have a ways to go, and the only way I know to get better is to go out and work. So that's what we're trying to do. You got to ask something.
How did you feel playing in the two extremes? With the first game, you whooped up on the team. The last game, you guys kind of took a little bit of a beating. How was it for you guys?
Well, I enjoyed the first one a heck of a lot more than the second.
Now, do you think
That was an easy question. But I'll say this. I was not pleased with the outcome in South Alabama. I wasn't pleased for a lot of reasons. But I still think we're a better football team for going down there and playing that game and playing a tough opponent. And you get better by playing good people. And so even though we didn't get the result we wanted, I think we'll be a better football team, and we'll be better down the road in Southland play for having played that game. Now, the next time we play a team that tough, we need to play better. And but that'll be a great experience for us if we handle it right.
How do you think that helped with the preparations as far as the rest of the season goes?
Well, we'll see how they stack up to the rest of our league. I think they're a good football team, and we played a good football team. Now we want to go beat a good football team. And maybe we use that experience down the road when we play a good football team. It'll put us over the top.
You guys want me to stay around?
You didn't ask one question. That's it.